Greetings, horror movie fans. Welcome to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind, the podcast. I am your host, Ian. This is the show in which we grind on the absolute worst horror and sci-fi movies we can find and make fun of just how bad they are, as well as praise the good, cool classics that have been lost throughout time. Now get ready, because we're about to dive real deep inside of Hollywood's dumpster in search of the good, the so bad it's good, and the fucking ugly. Now put on your seatbelt, grab a beer or two, and enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind, the podcast. I am Ian again, and this time we are doing Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Came out in 1988, directed by Steven Chiodo, and featured one John Vernon. You know him from Animal House and Dirty Harry and a bunch of crap. So yeah, we've got some friends back with me again. Coming back one more time. Sloan is back. What's up, Sloan?
Hello. It's good to be here.
Yeah, sure is good for you to be here. Well, what's okay? So when I mentioned we were going to do this, not in the last podcast, but like in person, you told me that this movie terrified you when you were a kid. So I was like, I gotta bring Sloan on here. So
Definitely, and it's one of the top movies that I cherished through my childhood. Well, actually, it terrified me in my childhood. I cherish it now, but yeah, I hold it up there along with Critters and a whole bunch of other films, especially since we covered Creepshow last week.
Mhm.
And so,
which this has one similarity to, which we'll get into.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, when I was a kid, I ended up walking in on my parents watching Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and I think it was the part where they're just rampaging through the town and just like capturing everybody, and it just bothered me like to the core. And
Yeah, see, that's the thing is I didn't see this movie till I was already like 20 years old, and I was like, this is the dumbest, cheesiest, just most stupid thing I've ever seen in my life. And you're over here like frightened.
I was about 4 years old when I walked in, so yeah, I ran out screaming and crying. Yes.
So now that you're older, what do you think of it now?
I mean, it's almost like watching a Hallmark romance comedy, and you just can't. If they made multiples of it, like you just have to eat it up, man.
I guess. All right, so you're a fan.
Ultimately, yes.
Okay, cool. Right on. Let me bring in some other people. Bree's back.
Hey, I'm new and improved this week. I'm not going to go dark, and I've got a less than flattering angle, so I'm ready to go.
Right on. So when was the first time you saw this movie? What are your overall thoughts? Or what did you think of it then, and what do you think of it now?
So like you, I didn't see this until I was older. Admittedly, the first time I saw it is after Midnight Cult Combat episode 1. When,
no kidding.
Yeah, no kidding. When Martin slayed me on that final round. And I was like, okay, yeah, I got to watch this. And I thought, okay, yeah, I can see why he beat me now. Yeah.
For those listening who have no idea what we're talking about, check out my old podcast, maybe So Bad the Good, Midnight Quote Classics in Camp, in which I fought, or I pit Bree against this other guy, Martin, and to just a battle of like what's the stupidest cult movie, and Martin won, and I mean he picked this movie, Killer Klowns, and he won.
Correct.
And,
so
speaking of which, that guy is right here. Martin, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
And
I gotta say, Bree, you look good in every angle, so don't worry about that. It's clearer, so it's even better.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Martin, this is your debut to this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. This is your first one, but you also have a podcast under the same channel.
I do, and not gonna talk about it yet because we're working on a show at the moment. It's hard labor, man, hard labor.
Well, plug whatever you want. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna plug the one in French so far. Sur la route de l'horreur, Highway to Hell. We've started doing the TV show, and this weekend we went to see Hobbs' Hand from In the Mouth of Madness.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
And let me tell you, it was so fun. And that church you can see where Cain, Sutter Cain, that is in the doors of the church is humongous and so beautiful. I cannot wait for people to see it. And I don't think the show will be out yet at that moment. But hey, English people doesn't care. It's a French fucking TV show. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe an English one at one point. Who knows?
And you want to plug one of your documentaries that you've done or currently working on?
I'm doing a documentary. I wasn't aware of that. Which one? Oh, yeah. Hell to the Deadites, which is out on Blu-ray when the show will be on.
Yeah. Because we are recording this like several weeks or months ahead of when it will drop. Who knows? But yeah, awesome. Well, glad to have you on here. And I guess real quick, do you want to say what Hail to the Deadites is?
Hail to the Deadites is a documentary about Evil Dead fans, all sorts of Evil Dead fans. We're talking about collectors, actors, cosplayers, and even the actors from Evil Dead 1 and 2. And you know what? It's fucking good too.
It is. I've seen it, and I was actually like thoroughly enjoyed it. It was real wholesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it showed a bunch of like hardcore fans, people who like won contests and stuff, and like y'all even featured a guy proposing to his wife inside of like a comic book store or something like that.
Actually, that was in Tom Sullivan's museum.
Yeah, museum. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fine.
And all right. Well, anyway, we've got another guy who's been just sitting, and Daniel's back. Sorry to just ramble on without you. What's up, Daniel?
No, it's great. I was just listening to Martin, and I was thinking how much he sounds like one of the guys from What We Do in the Shadows, and it really makes me upset that there's no Canadian vampires in What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay, I'll do something for you at one point. Not now.
There we go.
Nice. That's actually that we might have to cover that movie. I think it might kind of fit with this theme of the
What We Do in the Shadows, the movie.
Not
that was a good
show,
movie. No, that was a good movie.
I really want to touch onto a point that Sloan had earlier, like as far as getting into this movie went. I have nightmares about this movie, and I appreciate that that there's another person that actually was scarred by this in their youth. I didn't remember this movie very well when I was younger, but when I got older, I eventually realized that the little clown going ahead and punching a guy's face off inside of the dumpster was.
Oh wait! Are you saying what are you going to do? Knock my block off?
Yeah, no, it's so cheesy now, but this is part of my nightmares from a large range of my life. It's got to be at least 10 years, and I am reasonably afraid of clowns. Not that afraid of clowns, but I had been when I was younger, and I can do decent things with normal people acting like clowns now. But like, if someone's gonna be a weird clown to me, I can't do it. So I've got a healthy fear of clowns.
What defines a weird clown?
Yeah, what
defines like being a weird clown to you?
Oh no, there's nothing that defines it specifically.
Like
but it's gonna be like when you cross a line in my personal thing. Like oh, hey, you're here to be fun and do all this sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you do something weird. And I can't define what specifically that is there, but it's...
I agree, Sloan. Burying a bunch of bodies in your basement is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
no,
Just
that's
slightly.
an easy one.
Yeah, until Pennywise
I'm talking about
shows
like
up.
more like something like you go to hand me something and like it turns out that it's wet.
Ugh. Ugh.
I don't know. Like all of a sudden it's gonna like weird me out and I'm gonna be like, you're a bad clown. I don't
Okay. So what are your thoughts of this movie now that you're an adult?
Oh, it's really fun. It's a great movie to show to other people. I think that this hits the it doesn't really hit a cult movie status because it doesn't have too many people in it that are worth noting. I like the Dickies being in it. They did the soundtrack. They're amazing for all the music, but without
that one song that pops up like every other scene is a jam.
Oh yeah.
That is just a jam.
But without the pop punk sort of soundtrack, I don't think that it's really like a cult classic. But it's so fun to make fun of.
It's a cult classic.
I think it has a cult following.
It definitely.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean,
what the hell? It's a cult classic. Come on.
But
I need a lot of money, guys. That's what I'm looking at right here.
Saying that you just started a cult for this classic.
There you go.
I mean,
it does have that following of people that were terrified of it as children that have no reason to actually be upset about it at present. And I've really got to appreciate that.
Cool. Well, and Martin, I never got around to asking you this actually. When was the first time you saw it, and what did you think of it then, and what do you think of it now?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't remember when the first time I saw it. I believe it was in my hometown in Maniwaki when I was around, that would be 12 or 13 years old. And the first time I saw it, I loved it because I was already a fan of horror. I was a fan of sci-fi, and I was a fan of shitty movie. I'm not saying that Killer Klowns is a shitty movie. It's not. It's actually very smart.
Go on.
You don't want to start a fight with me.
He's already shown his prowess in Mortal Kombat. Don't fight him.
Yeah, you know how it happened with Bree. I won, so I might win with you too. No, but seriously, I did love it at first. Probably saw it like a few times before returning the videotape to the store. Yeah, do you guys know what a videotape is?
Yes.
I've never heard of one.
Just kidding. I'm 45, by the way, so if people ask themselves, what the fuck is he talking about?
I've never heard that number in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice.
So yeah, I loved it at first, and I still love it now. I actually got the Blu-ray, of course, from Arrow.
That's pretty sweet.
Loved it. Yeah,
it's a beautiful cover.
Oh man.
Watched it this was it this morning? Yesterday? No, yesterday again. And I probably watched it like 2 months ago with my daughter, and she loves it too.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of movie that, like, you can watch with your kids, and it'll terrify them, and you'll just laugh at them because it's so silly. And
but I understand what Sloan and Daniel is saying, because when you're a kid, you're watching that sort of movie, even though it's funny, it's light. It does star clowns that kills people different ways, but when you're a kid, it's hard to comprehend what's happening on the screen. I mean, the guy gets his head cut off. I mean, it's popping out, okay? The body's falling. And then you got those little creatures in the laundry basket that looks like clown worms, which is really weird. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
And
they
then
came out of popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. And that face that comes out of the cotton candy, and it's bloody as hell. I get it how Daniel got scared and Sloan got scared. So yeah. I'm not laughing at you guys. I believe you. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
These
Nice
little
one.
guys. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Those are actually little
That-
things
that
that
probably
somebody
was-
made for Etsy.
I can see being scared at that part.
gotta buy one of
But
those.
Martin, this is actually your pick. Like, I mean, if it's not obvious already for those who couldn't put the pieces together, this was your pick. So I guess I don't really need to ask why Killer Klowns from Outer Space. You seem to really be into it. I asked you, is there any movie you want to cover? You want to come on and cover? You said Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I was like, all right. And it's right here, where it says the title.
Near you.
Hold on. Well, not that.
Clowns from Outer Space.
He said the
Thank
title.
you. Yeah, this is in my notes.
He said
Thanks,
the
man.
title.
I feel like okay. So I feel like. Oh, hold on. That's not me.
That's fine. Let him go ahead.
I feel like. Damn it. So right then he actually just wandered on set, like he was supposed to be in another movie, and then he just walked in accidentally, and he looked at the title of the script, and he says, "Killer Klowns from Outer Space," huh? Shit. And then they're like, oh, perfect, put him in the movie.
Yeah, the movie was amazing in this.
Buddy watching
It's crazy, guys.
And who watched the trailer, never watched the movie. Well, okay, you watched it.
The
Yeah,
original
that is
title was
pretty
actually
much
cut out
movie.
the outer space part, but people thought that, like, the producers thought it was going to be, people would think it would be more of a slasher, so they put the subtext of From Outer Space behind it, because it was originally just going to be Killer Clowns.
Mm.
And they did the right
nobody wants
thing.
to take their kids to that.
Nobody should bring their kids to that.
So, Martin, since you picked this one, why don't you very briefly, in about a minute or so, just tell us real quick what the plot is of this?
I think the title says it all. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's what you get, and you really get it. I mean, we're talking about a group of clowns.
Sell me on it.
Yes. Landing on planet Earth because they need food. Well, clowns, they eat food too. But the food they eat is not the kind of food we eat. They actually eat people. And what they do is capture everybody to bring them back to their ship in a cotton candy, which is weird. But then again, it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And to do that, they need some balloon dogs. Yeah, I know. Kind of weird too. But at least they have a popcorn gun. Yeah, popcorn gun, because it's normal to have a popcorn gun. But hey, that's not only that. They do have popcorn that transforms into clown worms. You're following me so far? Yeah, okay. That's not it, because we have pies. Yeah, pies. With acid. Yeah, but because pies has acid to kill people, and then put a cherry on it,
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Oh, we have all sorts of things. I mean, we call it Chinese shadows. What do you call it when they do with their hands on a wall with the
Puppetry?
Shadow
puppetry? Okay. So, yeah, it's not any kind of shadow puppetry, of course. They'll manage to make a dinosaur out of it and eat people. Oh, man. I'm talking about the movie and what's happening in it, but I never.
You're doing a great job.
No, I never spoke about the people that plays in it, because there's people that plays in it, and it's what a story! What a story! Mike Tobacco, Debbie Stone, Dave Anson, the three main characters played by Grant Kramer, Susan Snyder, and John Allen Nelson. Is that it?
Yeah,
I got it right. Okay. You have to admit, I'm gonna ask you the question, guys. You got to admit that the relationship between not Grant, but Mike and Debbie is kind of weird, knowing that Dave is there, the ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Dave
Of
is
course.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
She didn't
Yeah.
like structure, is what he says.
Yeah,
Or stability. That's what it was.
But as you know, when the movie ends, Dave is the one at the back smooshing Debbie, which is kind of weird because Mike is just beside him. I'm like, okay, what happened there? Did I miss something? I don't know. I guess the relationship is back with Dave. What happened with Mike? I don't know. Anyway, I could go on and on with the story. I know everything about the story.
Okay. Yeah, right on. Well, no, you definitely sold me on it. In fact, that's going to be a new segment coming on. Is sell me this movie.
I can see Daniel laughing his ass off.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was great. Okay, so I guess we'll just go on and talk about the standout scenes and performances. Pretty much, instead of just talk through the movie, we'll just talk about the things that stood up to us most. Although I would like to bring up at the very beginning. We'll start at the beginning, where we got a bunch of like 30-year-olds in a secluded spot making out. Clearly 30. And then you have these what are they called? The Torelli brothers who show up in the ice cream Terenzi brothers who show up in the ice cream truck. They do that to trick these women into like making out with them or having sex with them.
Yeah, because everybody knows that ice cream will get you girls.
That's true.
Yeah.
As a girl, can confirm.
And like it's so like obvious that they're like trying to trick them into making out with them. They're like, well, this won't work. Let's try the drive-in. Maybe that'll work. It's just it's so cringy. So that's definitely the first one. Is that like it's creepy and cringy.
Don't forget the part where he's crossing the street with a bag full of cans labeled beer.
Yeah,
like it's just literally labeled white cans labeled beer.
All about budget, dear.
Yeah, you can't get those Coronas, can't get Miller Lights. Forget about it.
I can imagine somebody.
I just wish mine was labeled beer. I got nothing.
I can imagine somebody from the production going to see Bud Light and saying, "Hey, do you want to sponsor our movie? It's called Killer Klowns From Outer Space." Like, fuck yeah. No.
Well, and also, if I don't know if any of you are aware, I found this out today actually. When the ice cream truck drives away and everybody's like throwing beer cans at him, one of the people throwing beer cans at him is a young Christopher Titus, who is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I never saw that.
I found that out today. That's all I got. But who else has a stand-up or a scene that stands out to you? I guess we'll near the beginning.
Oh, you want to do near the beginning?
Yeah.
So I'll hold off on my next one. It's one to really make the thought processes go by the ending. But one of the things that I noticed in the beginning is when Debbie and Mike end up going off to go try and find the shooting star that lands across the horizon. I noticed that, of course, she brings along the bottle of champagne. It's just like no good alcohol left behind. Just like you got priorities. All right, now let's go find this, potentially radiated meteorite piece, which last week we ended up covering the Creep Show, and one of the episodes was a blundering idiot coming across a meteor, and we saw how that went.
It's like the same character.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like the exact same character. It's like, oh, we're going to be rich.
And that was actually a famous person too, Royal Dano, Farmer Gene Green with his dog Pooh Bear. And there's that section where he tries to, I'll tear this down with my bare hands, and just electrocuted.
Love your interpretation.
But yeah, those were my major scenes that stuck out to me.
Okay. Just a second.
Did you see that little old sky jockey zip down in there, Pooh?
Damn it.
I wonder
Whatever.
what chose the name Pooh Bear.
Well,
Pooh Bear.
He's a regular Christopher Robin.
yeah.
I mean, he definitely. They must have landed in the 100-acre wood.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, why there's always like a lonely farmer who's just like always.
That guy normally doesn't talk that much. Like he doesn't know that many words. This guy just keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah, but he's using the same words over and over again too.
I feel like Men in Black
Showing
from
you beat
these
me with
movies.
a black reference. Damn it. Damn it. And circus doing up in these parts.
Works.
I like how his first thought is like free passes. Like he's so excited to see the elephants and exotic dancers and the hairy lady. Like he's jazzed for that part.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, when I go to Europe and I see an abandoned hostel and it's free to come in, I go in. I'm happy.
Fair enough. I can't judge you there.
I'm gonna judge you right there. That's not something it's okay to go into, but to each their own.
I'm just curious what good that bucket was going to do, because that was definitely a pretty big meteor that was supposed to.
I assume he's just gotta shovel up some poop, or
There ain't nobody around.
no,
He's just
go down
talking
there.
to the dog too.
Yeah.
Where's the dang ticket booth?
And ding on the damn gribble up in here.
That's great. Like at first you think it's like his shadow, but then you realize, oh wait, that's a clown.
Not my Pooh Bear.
I'm not sure how many people thought that was actually his shadow, but
Well, like at first, first glance, like
Bear?
it's positioned to like look like his shadow,
Where is that dog?
and then you're like, oh wait, that's a clown.
So we know the clowns eat humans. Do we ever just assume what happened to the dog? Was the dog eaten?
Oh, he's dead meat.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
Probably
Probably.
sure.
assimilated for the popcorn.
Like they left a bandana behind. If the bandana's left behind, you know he's dead.
That's true.
Unless he went humping a balloon dog.
Where's my dog? Where's my Pooh Bear?
Ah, Pooh Bear.
Anything apart with my bare hands.
So dramatic.
Oh Lord.
this is legitimately the part of the film that aged the worst.
Yeah.
The rest is better. Like it's fun. It's fun. It's crazy.
Old man
It's
Farmer Jane Green.
maybe not offensive or sad or horrific, but this part is just miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Iconic.
All right. So who else wants to bring up a part?
If I bring a part, I'm gonna bring all parts. Everything is good about this movie. I'm sorry to say so. Hey, I got a question for you, Ian.
What's up?
Why did you hate it, or why don't you?
I
Like
didn't say I hate it. I didn't say that at all. I just said it's dumb. That doesn't
Of course,
mean
it's dumb.
I
I don't think they
host,
went for smart.
I host a podcast for dumb movies. Like I wouldn't be hosting this if I didn't enjoy it. It's not my favorite, but no, I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah. I mean, I saw it when I was 20. That was during my like hardcore hipster days when I was judgy about everything. I was like, "Oh, this movie's stupid." And,
Wait, you left that phase?
I was about to say the same thing.
I said during my hardcore hipster days. Now
All right,
I'm
fair enough.
less hipster now.
All the love, by the way. I mean that not offensively.
And so yeah, so I didn't watch it again until like a couple of days ago, and I mean, it's still just fucking. I mean,
it is stupid. No, don't worry about that. It is a stupid movie.
They're clowns and they're like so ridiculously clownish that the movie keeps forcing that down your throat. It's like, hey, how these are clowns, just so you know. And but I mean, it's definitely fun. And that's so much fun if you're like by yourself. Like if you have like a party or something, got like a bunch of friends over and you're drinking, it's great. And no, I got nothing against it.
That's good. Good to hear. And there's a funny thing I realized when I'm traveling to conventions. Every time I go to a horror convention, there's always merchandise on Killer Klowns. Always. So it's a cult classic. Everybody's talking about it. If you talk about Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and the person you're talking to is 20 years old and older, because let's face it, the younger people will not know what we're talking about. They know what Killer Clown is. Even if they didn't see it, they know what it is. But getting back to my favorite scenes, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, bring one up.
Knocking the block off. How can you go wrong with this scene? I mean, first off, you're feeling so bad for that little clown that starts crying because the guy destroys his bike. I mean, mean bike you got there. Can I take a ride, pal? Can I beep the horn? Oh, thank you. Should have let the man ride his bike. That was so corny as a comeback.
Michael can quote the whole movie, by the way. He will just quote the whole movie if we just let him.
Mean bike you got there. Yeah. Can I take a ride?
I like how Ian was so ready to pop out with this. This
Can I take the horn?
Is this the part that you get your nightmares about? Like specifically, is this the part?
I hope you're not talking to me. I'm not getting nightmares about this movie.
Should have let the man ride his bike.
Also, the fun fact, he's credited as Black Biker.
Sorry.
They just credit him as Black Biker.
It's a great way to credit him because
nobody
he's
cares.
the only black guy in the movie.
I love how the clowns can just like jump straight up into nowhere.
Yep.
I like him showboating the whole thing.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Block off.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Still enjoy it.
Oh no, that's great. It's just there's also, of course, we have to bring up that there's a similar scene from one of the Friday the 13th movies, Jason Goes to Manhattan, where the exact same thing happens, and the boxer is just going at him for like 10 minutes, and then he finally gives up. It's like, it's like, give me your best shot, and then also his head goes into the dumpster, just like this one, into the trash.
Yes.
Yep. Bree, do you have what do you got?
I've got a couple scenes. I've got one that's not corny that was actually kind of scary, even as an adult. So the one that's actually kind of scary is when he's using the police officer's body as like a puppet. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of freaky. Maybe it's just like my innate fears of puppets. But just the fact that he had his hand hung up in there and was using him to talk, that was freaky. But as far as corny scenes go, wow, what can we talk about that wasn't in the trailer? Right. Yeah, that part where he definitely starts turning the police officer into the pot. They start pieing him, and then he starts to like melt. But I mean, they're like pieing him for like a good solid 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's going to take a little less time to melt somebody with acid. And also just kind of like the visual effects kind of reminded me of like the Blob. So that kind of like held a little bit near dear to my heart there. So I did like that. And they finished it off with a cherry on top, just like Martin mentioned. So I did like that a lot.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with those pies, boys?
I actually have some information about that pie segment. So the Kyoto's brothers, they ended up wanting to get a famous comedian, Soupy Sales, to come in and do that pie scene because he's the one who kind of trademarked the pie skits.
Yeah.
And so, the whole pie to the face. But one of the things that I was getting ready to bring up earlier when you told me not to go for the ending, but now that we're
It's
talking
all
about
good
the
now.
pies, so
Go
once
for
the
it.
explosion occurs and everybody's standing around, they're just like, well, you think it's done? And then all of a sudden they all start getting covered in pies. I'm just like, are they all going to melt away now?
I asked
Yeah.
myself the same
It's a
question.
legitimate question right
It
there.
is a
Yeah.
Like, they
legitimate
didn't get
question
out
for this
unscathed.
movie.
So you'll see in Killer Clowns 2, Mike will be like burned on his side because of
Right.
the pie.
Kind of looks like
It's coming 2025. Don't worry, guys.
2025. God damn it, that's way too long.
Yeah. Daniel, do you have something?
I mean, as far as a favorite scene, you guys basically covered everything. What I want to do is I want to talk about my absolute favorite thing about the movie, which is
Nope. Boring. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
the Dickies. The Dickies. You cannot possibly build a movie this ridiculously bad and good at the same time without having a pop punk band being in charge of it.
Yep.
And I think the Dickies did a great job. They have done all sorts of spoofs on movies and different soundtracks before, but this one was really fun. And they are just one of those things that I grew up with, being a kid that believed that I was interested in punk when I was younger. And not being actually a punk person, I thought that these pop punk bands were amazing. So the Dickies just did a great job.
Yeah, the song
Yeah,
Killer Clowns from Outer Space
I think
stays
so.
in your head. It's real earworm for me. Every time I hear it, it just keeps on playing in my head for the rest of the day. And I remember the first time I've seen it, when I heard the music at the end, I played it and I played it and I played it, and I am not lying when I say the tape was getting worn out. Just
It
because I
drove me
was bored.
crazy that I couldn't figure out what band that was, and it's just because when I was younger, I didn't watch the credits. I
course
didn't look at IMDb.
real easy
I
to
didn't
tell
do
now.
any of these things.
Yeah.
You listen to the song, you're like, God damn, that's good.
I don't like the. I mean, I do like the theme song, but the other main song that happens like between scenes, it's like it's such a jam.
The one where they're walking into town.
The one from John Massari, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah. I'll bring it up. So I'll go back to the police chief who I mentioned earlier. So it's like the way he like raised that line, "Killer Clowns from Outer Space." It's like he just walked in, like they were already filming it, and it's like he walked into the wrong studio or something, and he's like, "What is this? Killer Clowns from Outer Space." Holy shit! And they're like, "All right, keep going.
Just
It's
roll
like,
with it.
yeah, but I love how just I got the best part is definitely of how throughout the entire movie he's getting all these calls. He's getting lit up, and he's just, everybody's calling him. It's like there's this clown that's killing me, or not killing. He's sorry, he's like attacking me. He's like breaking into my house. Please help! And he's like, a clown, huh? I know you're not gonna get me on this one. And he believes that the entire town.
You got the whole town against me.
Yeah.
I gotta say something that Curtis says though. I made it to Korea. I can make it to this bullshit.
You'll never make it, dummy out of me.
Listen, I've been through some
that
Korea
one line
bullshit.
was great.
Yeah, I've been through some Korea bullshit. Obviously not the Korean War, but late nights and Seoul drunk off soju to the point where you can hardly walk. If I can get through that, I can get through anything.
Right on. But yeah, I mean, I gotta say, it's like really like bad police work that the chief of police is just like, no, you know what? I don't believe you. And click, hang up on them. Like the entire town, they call them one at a time. But also, like, think about it. Like, if it were me, I would also like. What's more believable that some clowns are breaking into everybody's house and attacking them and kidnapping them and zapping them, or that the whole town is pranking me? I think that, I mean, they're both far-fetched, but I think that the prank is actually more believable.
Especially in a small town, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's not too wrong. Like, I can forgive him for that, but at the same time, he is a terrible cop.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to rough up the kids that come from the college, and it's just like, nope, I'm just gonna beat you up.
Now, let's not forget that Dave do believe that clowns are killing people, and it took like maybe one time, and that's it, to convince him.
Mm-hmm.
And he becomes very expressive about it too. A little bit more than who's the guy again? The Pooh Bear guy.
Yeah.
He's the most expressive.
Gene Green.
Gene Green.
That's his character.
Sloan.
Yeah, I love that guy, and I love the police chief. And then I would say the most annoying characters are probably the Ice Cream Brothers guys. I forgot their name already.
Torelli.
No, it's the.
Yeah, I thought it was Torelli, but I was told wrong.
Terenzi.
Sorry.
Well, it's Torelli now. Yeah, but I forgot to mention while they're at that like secluded makeout spot, and then they like get kicked out by everybody, and they're like fools of themselves. The one guy is like, "Oh, those guys, they're great," and the girl he's making out with is like, "You know those guys?" Like, "Oh yeah, they're the best. They're my best friends from school." And I'm just like, "Do you really want to tell her that?" Like I would be like, no, never seen them before in my life.
Friends are friends, man. I have some really fucked up friends, but they're still my friends.
Not when you're making out with a girl. They ain't your friends.
Ian and Bree, bros before hoes.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
With the makeout point, where they meet at the top of the world, I was reading a bunch of stuff about the. So they were renting all of these vehicles. That car that goes down over the edge was not supposed to roll all the way down and actually crash. But one of the more expensive restorations, you know, the part when Dave ends up going and finding all the cars are emptied at the lookout point, and he opens the door and it's just filled with the webbing of the cotton candy.
Right.
So they said that it took $3,000 to repair the inside because the solvent in whatever they were using ended up destroying the interior of the car. So, and speaking of prices, so the popcorn gun, that was the most expensive thing that they made for the movie. It cost $7,000 to make that thing.
Damn.
Oh. Well, where was their fire hydrant with popcorn loaded into it? Come on.
If you look at it close up, it's got some very nice ergonomics to it. So,
you know, the $2 million budget went primarily on production costs.
Yeah.
So the clowns and visual effects were created almost entirely by the filmmakers at very little cost, which is the Chiodo brothers.
And the Chiodo brothers, they actually outsourced a lot of the art to other industries. So the Chiodo brothers ended up the final scene with Clownzilla. That was actually
supposed to be stop motion.
It was Charles Chiodo inside that suit, and he's the one who did all that puppeteering, as well as the set itself was created by the Chiodo brothers personally, but all the rest of the movie was outsourced to other artists.
Huh.
And let me see, I have it written down. Fantasy Film Effects was the visual special effects for this movie.
I believe
Y'all
they
come up
were
with this
actually in the
research?
credits too.
Mm-hmm.
I heard somewhere the clowns were made before like this movie was even greenlit. Like,
Wow.
I
like they
believe
made
so
the
too.
clowns, and they were like, "We want to make a movie. Here's some clowns."
Because I remember seeing a
Cool.
making of, and in the making of there was like this audition tape with the clowns, but I can't confirm that it was before the movie, but it seemed like it was. They were showing how it looked like, and they went like, "Okay, this are the clowns, so can we make a movie about it?" With more details, of course. I'm just pitching
Yeah.
how I saw it and everything.
All right. Does anybody else have anything that they want to bring up?
I do have something very, very special, and I learned that today. I didn't know that, but the body count is estimated to 40 people.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. It's got to be more than that. It's got to
If
be
it-
more than that.
If
Well,
it's
this-
like they said the
The
entire
entire
town,
town.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
say at least 40 people.
Okay, fair.
We
At
can't tell
least
who
five.
everybody is
At
inside
least
this.
5.
40 people and a Pooh Bear.
And a Pooh Bear. Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah. Well, when we see the spaceship, when they go into like where all the cocoons are, I guess there are at least 40 cocoons like laid out. And I guess I'll bring up a part that is very stupid that probably pissed everybody off the
That's
most.
like 100 scenes, man. Which
No, the parts that pissed.
You're gonna have to be more specific, sir.
I'll get to it. The part that pissed everybody off, everybody who's ever seen this movie, this is the part that got them. Found that so they cocooned all the members of this town up into these like cotton candy cocoons, except for the main girl. She
Yeah.
gets a balloon for reasons unexplained.
For reasons.
Plot device.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, well, it's not because the guy pulls out his giant crazy straw and drinks one cocoon, and and then they're like, oh, she's in this bubble. Good, let's help her out. And that was convenient that she was in a balloon and not a cocoon. And then also what's worse is they're like, all right, let's get out of here. But there's other people. And they're like, nah, fuck those people.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
only
The
here for
people
her.
that were sitting in the bubbles. I was curious about that as well. It's just like what caused
They're dead.
somebody to be kept alive. And so I know the gestation period needs to occur for a while, because once they peeled the face off or the portion off of the first
Right.
victim that's found, he's kind of gelatinizing a little bit. And
Mhm.
so I always thought that was interesting. But yeah, the bubbles, it seems like they're using the exact same gun. So it's kind of like Star Trek. You're going to set your phaser to stun or kill. And so
Yeah, and so like,
they
were
clearly
they?
chose not to do anything with those people. Like they're dead. They're dead to us. I'm not going to save them. I'm going to just
Yeah.
leave. I'm
But
leaving.
like that, there were other bubbles. So why just save her? Like you can't like take a minute to
they
save
started getting
these
chased
others.
by like 4 of them that came out of the elevator. So granted, I'd shite myself and run.
I just love the way you guys are trying to find the reason why people are in a balloon in a stupid movie like this. Hey, we have something else out of this, okay? People in a flying
Tell
balloon.
me.
So that means helium, right? And they're still breathing. So if the balloon pops out, who pops up. Sorry. Aren't they supposed to talk like a squirrel, or I don't know how the? You know?
That's a great idea right there.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. The answer like this.
It can be something else to be.
In the end, when the bubbles don't end up popping when it explodes, and they just float up into the atmosphere, and then the bubbles finally release, and everybody just drops from above. It's just like, oh god, got even worse.
It's
Sorry,
a
I made
logical
that
movie.
morbid.
It's a logical movie.
You gave me something else to be pissed off about. Thank you.
Sorry.
So, since you get the mic, you got anything else you want to bring up?
Well, there's a lot of different things that we didn't cover. Okay, yes, I do want to bring up one last thing. So, the Terenzi brothers, they were wanting the chick the whole time, and they end up falling into that pit of balls.
Yeah.
And they fall down, and there's the two female clowns, and like they look up, and like one's bosom just starts expanding outwards, and they're just like, "Are you Debbie's roommates?"
Right.
And then so they end up going back to meet the other heroes later, and they've got like all the kisses and stuff across them. So
yeah,
not all
they
the
fucked
clowns
those
wanted to
clowns.
kill them.
They fucked those clowns.
Got to get it somewhere, right?
I like the part where they're running and they reach a door and they open a door and it's like there's another door.
Another door.
And then they like another door. And then, that is a nightmare. I've had that nightmare before, where like there's just doors upon doors upon doors, and they get smaller and smaller, and that I love that. And they're like another door. Daniel, you look like you're looking at some notes. What you got?
I'm definitely looking at my notes. I'm looking at my favorite quote of the night, which is, "There's one right there, a clown. Shoot him!" And it's my favorite quote of the whole movie. Just these people want to shoot clowns.
It can be.
I want to shoot clowns.
You want to shoot clowns? Okay.
No context.
Remind me to not dress up as a clown when I'm with you.
I'm gonna shoot you. Sorry,
it's like, okay, so you have the cop. He's got his shotgun. He's shooting clowns, and it's like, how did you know that there were killer like space aliens? It's like they're killer.
Don't give a
aliens?
fuck.
What? I'm just killing clowns.
No one cares. We gotta shoot them. Shoot them right there.
Yeah, that's like a Simpsons episode right
shoot
there.
Those clowns.
I did.
Wait, that was Zombie Flanders?
Yeah, that's definitely where. I thank you for getting my reference.
No, the reason I love that one is the blatancy of it. It's just Jesus, goddamn Christ! There's a clown. Shoot that guy. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Shoot the clowns.
Shoot them! Shoot them all! Target the noses.
Martin, give us a scene to make fun of.
A scene to make fun of? How do I have to make fun of a scene when they make fun themselves of a scene?
True. That's true. You're stalling,
Jesus
though.
Christ. Let me see. There's so many good scenes in there, but the popcorn scene in the laundry basket is so funny. You see this,
it's beautiful though.
Yeah, it is. The popcorn starts moving and you go like, oh my God.
And that was impressive, by the way, how the popcorn was moving by itself. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what we called magic, man. Magic. So
I'm sure that there is a device they were using to move the popcorn. I'm sure they weren't using.
No, they were moving by themselves.
They brought a wizard.
They didn't use anything. They said, "Okay, we'll try to engineer some sort of popcorn and put them in the laundry basket. Then we hope they move alone." You know. No, but seriously, the fact that the popcorn transforms itself into the clown worms, I don't know how to call them. That was magical. That was magical.
Clown worms.
What's that?
Clown worms.
Clown worms.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the right. I got the right name.
So
But
right
then they attack Debbie, and I believe we do see some strings in there when she gets attacked, especially in the Blu-ray edition because it's so clear, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why do they transform into clown worms? What's the logical thing about it? There's nothing logical.
No.
Don't listen to me. I mean, it's everything is fucked up in this movie. And okay, that's one scene. But the other scene I'm thinking about is that pizza delivery scene, in which the clown pops out of the boxes with a gun, and the girl goes like. But then they shoot the girl, and while she gets shot, she's like this, and then the laser comes in, and she goes like, it's like it lasts like 3 seconds. I'm like, okay, that's bad acting, and that's why she played just a few seconds in the movie.
Just the fact that she was excited when the clowns showed up with pizza. Like, this is the beginning of a porn scene. But clowns. That's the weird part.
Yeah, it's upsetting. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not upsetting. I just love when a clown brings me my pizza here. I'm sarcastic, by the way, guys. I do all this. I always do this. So.
Oh, that's not good. The audience just has to get used to it. That's cool. Get over it. He'll be
you're
back.
a producer
Future
after all.
episodes.
So.
Also, nobody gives a shit about the audience. For our entertainment.
Fuck you, audience.
I can already imagine all of you guys after the show. It's like, Steve Martin was fucking boring. What a dick.
Hey, audience. you people listening. Go fuck yourself. We hate you. We wish you were never born. Be sure to like and subscribe. And hit that, smash that subscribe button. And make sure to comment. Only positive things, of course.
Smash the subscribe button. Make sure to comment. Don't think hard about it, but just do those things. It's good.
Yeah. Our season 1 and our only one has been great with you guys. Cheers.
Yeah.
Nobody has anything.
So,
to
Ian,
say
where do you want to go
about
with this whole podcast? I have a feeling you have a few more questions for us, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah, unless you guys something first, you can go ahead.
I feel like I've interrupted Sloan a couple times, so sorry about that. Go for it.
It's all
Don't
good.
be sorry. It's all about having fun.
It's a podcast. People interrupt each other. It happens.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on. We're a YouTube channel now. We can't be interrupting each other. We're professional.
Of course we are. Professional. Been doing this for what? Hey, 2 months. Yeah, that's good. No, but seriously, I do have a lot of things to say. I could go on and on and on this movie.
Floor is yours.
Okay, I got questions. Every one of you guys and girls. Sorry about that, Bree. Why do you like to watch Killer Klowns, and how do you do it? How do you watch Killer Klowns? I mean, I've watched it with my daughter, and I had a blast. And I watch it a lot of times with my friends, having a beer, doing something else. I'm not gonna say what. And we have a blast, even though we've been watching it for about 50 times. I don't know what it is about that movie that still gets me. Still gets my love you too, Bree. So, Daniel, what's your answer on this?
Well, my answer is really easy. It's I've got a nostalgia factor for it. I like watching this movie because it hits me on ancient horror factors that I have, where I'm terrified. I don't have a good reason anymore because I think that the effects are cheesy and sad and funny, and I like seeing how somebody, massacre somebody by a punch to the face. But I know that it's not that scary anymore. Except I still have that same nightmare where that clown is punching somebody's face off. And I hate clowns. And I'm certain that's because of this movie. So that is a very, very good example of why I like to make fun of movies.
Oh,
so for me, when I want to introduce this sort of genre to somebody, I want them to see something that actually shows a good movie combined with why I hate that good movie. And the Killer Klowns is an excellent example. I hate it because it's not that good. It's cheesy. It's got tons of levels of bullshit in it, including the ACAB cop that you've got going on, just wanting you to hate him as much as you could possibly do. And you still want to watch it. You still want to watch this movie. You want to get excited for all the bullshit that happens in it, from the vacuum parade to just every individual scene where you've got a puppet with the cop and all that. It's just,
see, that's what I'm looking.
I lose it in the old school fashion that I loved a good bad movie.
That's what I'm looking for.
But it still gives me nightmares. I have that from my childhood. So
who cares
this
about
is a movie that doesn't take itself seriously, but also very seriously at the same time somehow. It's like yeah, we know this is fucking stupid. They're shooting popcorn at you that do nothing, and they're like, "Why are they doing that?" It's because they're clowns. That's why. And you could use that to answer every question.
We missed that when we were younger because we should have been smart enough to not make that terrifying for us, but we lost our shit when we were watching this movie, and we decided that it was terrifying and awful, and you can get decapitated by a clown. Not, holy look, there's just some little popcorn crawling across the screen, which is what was probably appropriate for us to actually see, but I don't know. We didn't catch it then.
All right. Good question, Martin. Let me let's since we're running a little low on time now, let's move on to the next segment in which I asked all of y'all. Okay, so actually, first of all, apparently they've been trying to greenlit a sequel to this movie for the past 20 years or 30 years, ever since this came out, and so far they've had bad luck. If they actually did do a sequel, or who knows, remake, prequel, whatever, what would you think that they would do? What is your idea? What if they came up to you guys, Sloan, if they came up to you and said, I want you to pitch a sequel or remake or what have you, what would be your pitch?
So I've been kind of batting around a handful of different things, but it's ultimately going to be along the same, not the same lines of the story, but so there are two different segments of where the popcorn is creating the clown worms. And so the bathroom is one, and then there's one that gets sprinkled in the dumpster, and the dude bringing out the trash ends up getting eaten. So my storyline goes to where, you've got the ones that are still stuck in the bathroom because they don't die in the explosion. What would kill them? Don't know what they're really attached to or living out of at that point. So let's just say they're detached, kind of like a snake at that point. And so the ones that are living in the dumpster, they just keep eating and eating and eating, and they grow. And that one merges together. It calls the other ones that slither up and meet it, and it ends up entangling and becomes a giant clown hydra that ends up attacking the city. And so but yeah, they're too lithe. They're too they move too easily, so it's really hard to get them in the nose. And so, you know,
Oh no.
you've got Dave coming in. Who knows? Maybe he comes in with a chainsaw Ash style. So
Ooh.
I don't know. I've got a handful of different ideas, but that's generally the gist of it. And so,
So,
it's
Sloan,
definitely open for.
when do we start production?
I'm down whenever. Like, if I can actually get some better notes on paper, I'll get that screenplay
Perfect.
written.
We'll shoot the
do
script.
it.
Yeah, that's generally what I've got now.
Nice. I've got a few myself. I have two like actual ideas, and I have two jokey ideas. So I'll do one each. I'll do a couple right now, and then I have one idea that I think at least one of y'all have to do the same idea. Like it's so obvious. So I'll wait till the end unless somebody else picks it. But one of my serious ones is so it's actually like a real like actually scary realistic killer clowns from outer space. Not this like these clowns look like clowns and have popcorn guns and tents and everything clown thing you can think of. No, this is like just aliens that are like white. They're like kind of like elvish, kind of like I don't know. It's just they're clowns but they're aliens, if that makes sense. And they have like sharp teeth and they go around fucking like actually harvesting people. So it's like more like a realistic thing, kind of like the It remake from a couple years ago. Something like that. So that's easy. My joke pick is Clownado.
Already a movie, but fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Sharknado, but it's clown. So like, okay, so this is a sequel. So more clowns. They found out that the ship got taken down, so they send reinforcements. They come in, and then they land, but a tornado hits them, and just now there's just clowns just flying through the air. And they're just like landing everywhere, causing mayhem. The script writes itself.
Kind of like the movie Twister, where the cow comes back around.
Exactly.
You're just like, there goes another clown car. That's the same one.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that idea.
Yeah. Mark,
You were
you get anything?
Actually, I don't, because this movie is hard to beat. But how about this?
Alright.
They land in Canada this time. It's during
So it's
winter.
a sequel.
It's a sequel, of course.
Okay.
It's during winter. The government has their election, because we're in election at the moment, so fuck it.
Mm.
And the clowns are fed up with meat that tastes like normal people, so they decide to go for every politicians.
You hear that, Trudeau?
So they hit the first place they attack is the Parliament. Crazy place. They transform it into a clown castle. Yeah, that's good. A clown castle. And since it's COVID time, they decide to use needles to to shoot pink sugar into their veins to prepare them. Is that good? Let's go for it. Okay. Instead of having balloon dogs, they have what could it be? Those goddamn slime bears. Yeah, because slime is a popular topic now with kids. So let's put some slime in there, and kids will watch the movie.
Oh yeah. Well, wait, no, this isn't 1996. What are you talking about?
You don't have a daughter, dude.
Yeah.
Slime things where
Those
you
YouTube
feed
slime
them and you
making
have to make them
videos.
poop. And so, literal YouTube poop.
Yeah. Slime is winning. It's a win-win situation. So the slime will attack Trudeau. Well, maybe not Trudeau for the moment, because we'll keep him for the end. And how about guns that shoots jelly beans this time? Yeah, jelly beans that transforms himself into Small Donald Trump, because he's a clown. I hope there's no fan. I see Daniel like not laughing. Are you a fan of Donald Trump, Daniel?
No, not at all.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't believe him.
This one, no.
I'm joking. Daniel, do you have an idea?
I just want to know what band you would choose instead of the Dickies.
I got one. You want me to show you?
Yes, I do.
All right. It is.
They might be giants.
I think you already know. Yeah, thank you, Martin. Thank you. They might be giants, be perfect, but I need to know one. Incredible.
They ain't clowning around.
Can anybody beat They Might Be Giants and or Insane Claus for this movie to have a soundtrack?
I'm just gonna keep this going. So keep talking.
There's nothing that can do this. So you've already won, Ian.
I'm not so sure about that because I'm listening to the music. I'm like, it sucks.
Wow.
It's not
ICP
good.
hater. He does not want to know how magnets work.
That was indeed.
Nobody knows how magnets work. Bree, thank you.
In a little sip of fuck Mountain Dew.
I would personally go with One Direction.
Oh, wow.
I would love to hear your pitch for how
heard that
One
name in
Direction can
years.
make this movie better.
Wow.
Hey,
I mean,
if
I
people
went
can
with the
make a James
low-hanging
Bond
fruit.
movie,
I'm waiting. I am waiting for this one. I want to hear exactly how we can make the theme song of the movie better with One Direction.
I mean, it could work. Hey, they're making a Toxic Avenger remake with a freaking $1 million budget with Kevin.
Peter Dinklage is working on
That's
that.
the first mistake.
Kevin Bacon and Peter Dinklage. I'm like, what the hell are they trying to do?
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I am too. I mean, I'm a big Trauma fan, so
Same. I was talking to Ian a while back. We were talking about Terror Firmer would be a really great movie to do with this.
Oh yeah, I do agree too. Yeah, but hey, just to get back
Martin?
to One Direction, they could make a very good song.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything, Bree or?
Yeah, I got my sequels pitch ready.
All right, what you got?
All right, so just like you, I've got one serious and I've got one jokey. All right, so my serious is kind of like in the lines of like a Jeepers Creepers, where like they have to come back within a certain amount of time to just start their feast again. So we get a whole new set, ready to go, ready to feast, and then they'll eventually move on, that sort of thing. My joke one is, so if you've ever played the game Left 4 Dead 2, there's a achievement where you smack the nose of the clowns. So my joke sequel is they come back. Yep, there is. I may or may not have over 600 hours in that game. Anyway, so my idea is they come back with a zombie gun, turn everybody into the zombies, and then like the main clowns are like the bosses. And before you kill them, you have to bop them in the nose. So that's my joke remake, of course.
All right, nice. I like it. What's your serious one?
No, that was my like in the lines of Jeepers Creepers, where like they have to, they have to come back within a certain amount of years to feed on human people. So in Jeepers Creepers, they have to come back every the 23rd spring, something like that. Something like that. Right. Yeah, but like you make it a horror movie, like in your line, Ian, where you make it like a legit horror movie, like with like legit aliens. You make it creepy, things like that. That was my serious proposal.
Okay, cool. So we're along the same lines.
Yeah.
Nice. Daniel, I don't think I got to you.
My serious idea for this is to make it into an ice cream horror genre. I would like
say
to have
ice cream.
Yeah,
Ice cream horror.
Yes, ice cream horror. I understand that this is terribly ridiculous, but the whole
That's your serious pick?
movie was ridiculous. Yeah, that's my serious thing for it.
Okay, go on.
Are we mad at me for this? You've got to be kidding me.
My hand is on the remove Daniel button. But go on.
I think carefully about it then before I say my words. I would like to see this movie move forward in a sequel because they have taken over the ice cream truck. And I believe that every single part of what I've seen in this previous movie should have led to the ice cream truck being a transformer. So this ice cream truck should transform into a gigantic clown / mechanical beast to fight all those people that are unhappy with clowns and or ice cream not being the center of their life.
Quick, Michael Bay, write that down.
I would like to see this movie go into the horrible, eccentric genre of too big, too fast. And I feel like that's the only way it's really going to do it. When you have something like an ice cream truck versus a giant alien, the only possible conclusion that you have is that it needs to be a giant robot ice cream truck. So that's exactly where I see it going.
No, you were absolutely correct. I am 100% on board with this. I love it. Nice.
Yeah. If you're gonna have a sequel, that's what I want to see. It's the only thing they didn't do in this past movie. It went way overboard way early, and that movie just it was so crazy without any actual reason behind it. Very much in the middle of the movie, and didn't try to go to that next step of like, I need a monster destroying the city. And so, therefore, I need either a giant clown monster destroying the city, or I need a monster truck style ice cream truck doing it. So that's the only next thing. It's the whole next movie.
Right on. So there's a chat thing here, Martin. You said that you just chatted to us. You have something to say?
Yeah, it's a simple thing. I just have to applaud you guys for creating a serious movie out of killer clowns. I'm like, geez, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because it's so ridiculous.
I think it could be done.
It's ridiculous to think that Transformers wanted to make a serious movie out of Transformers. So I would not say that it's a far stretch. I think we could do it.
Yeah.
Okay. The Transformers movies were only downhill just because of the human aspect. The Beast Wars they're coming out with, let's do that.
And there's actually a ripoff of Transformers that's called the Transmorphers. Have you ever heard of that?
I love that film.
Yes.
And we could go with the Clownformers, that's for sure.
Daniel, you said you had a jokey pick too.
I have an important question for everybody.
Okay.
I would like to know that if you had to have a circus-themed weapon, what would you choose?
Does it have to be original?
Yes, it should be original to this movie, but you have to explain it if it's not original to another movie. So here we had Angry Popcorn Gun. We had
a balloon dog.
The cotton candy gun. We had
don't forget the balloon dog.
That was my face. We had a lot of really stupid weapons that were meant towards the general human population, and I'd like to know what weapon you think a circus could provide that would not be ridiculous, but would also be catastrophic towards the human population.
No, It has to be serious. God damn it! I had some
Yeah.
more.
Well, I've got one. I can start you guys with this. I thought that it would be best to have a water gun that looks just like a super soaker. You could like
Right.
at somebody, but it would cause them to inflate and expand and then explode. And that's my circus idea.
So just on contact, it would make like the water.
Yes, absolutely. Just like those little faces you have to shoot into the target, like that.
Wait, can you do that one more time? One more demonstration.
Okay, so I think I've got something. All right. So,
What do you got?
If you were to like as the clowns using it as a weapon,
Yes.
having a hula hoop, and the way that they were enticing people when the people thought that they were innocent, you ring it around, you got the hula hoop going. Next thing you know, it's just like you hold it out, you're the clown, and you hand it to the person. It's just like you want them to do it, and once they start doing it, suddenly it starts igniting, and they get napalmed.
It's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. It sounds so good. I love it. That's a great horror movie weapon.
Does it have to be like clown related or like circus related?
Clown and circus could work both ways.
Okay. So I've got an idea in the fact that when I was younger, this is a little embarrassing to admit, but since my partner watches this and he already knows it, when I was younger, I really wanted to join the circus. And I really wanted to be like the bearded lady. Like I desperately wanted to be like the bearded lady or the hairy lady. I couldn't tell you why. So my idea is that, like, for example, I, as the bearded lady, so if you want to make a sequel, hit me up. I lift up my armpits and there's just this long mane of hair. And I mean like long, like Rapunzel sort of long, but it's an animate hair to the point where like it could wrap around people and strangle them. I couldn't tell you why. Listen, I've put down a couple White Claws and I'm really excited to like share this back with the world. That this was my dream as a young girl, that I wanted to be the bearded lady, but here we are.
So what, it would be like the bride with the white air pit, or?
I couldn't tell you why. Like 6-year-old Bree was like, I really just want to run away and I want to be the bearded lady and this is what I'm going to do. Like, screw being a princess, screw being an astronaut, I'm going to go be the bearded lady.
Everybody is entitled to their own dream. Mine is going to be quick, very quick. You know those giant shoes that the clowns wear?
Right.
Well, they would be filled with laughing gas that would make people laugh uncontrollably until they die out of suffocation.
Nice.
Okay, Joker.
I was going to say something.
Go right ahead. I'm ready.
I was going to make a Joker reference.
Go. I want to hear it, Sloan.
No, I was just saying.
I already did. I beat him to it. But mine's also real quick and easy, really lazy. That there's a hot dog session stand. They're like, here, have a hot dog, and then you eat it, and then a baby clown bursts out of your chest.
Oh, okay. Alien style, right?
Yeah, they're from outer space.
Totally original.
We're running real low on time, but let's rate this real quick. So for anybody who is not aware, we the way we rate it is we'll give it 1 out of 10, and we will rate it instead of stars. It'll be anything that just pops out of the like for instance, for me, just real easily. I definitely enjoyed it. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot more than I did when I was, stuck up fucking asshole. But at the same time, it's not my favorite bad movie. So I'll give it just 7 popcorns that end up turning into Sloan's nightmares. Sloan, how about you?
So going through the decades of watching this movie, started off with something that haunted my nightmares. But so I do remember the scene that I did walk into when I was a kid. It was the Mooney as a puppet, and just
Yes.
that sound it makes when he pulls its hand out of the back of Officer Mooney. It just it's just like it falls down. And yeah, that was just extremely bothersome. But I appreciate this movie so much for its physical aspects. I mean, the gore aspect of the head going into the trash can is, that's fun. But the way that the puppetry works, the Giotto brothers and sorry, I want to give them the Fantasy 2 film effects, just that animation within all the masks and just that physical aspect
that was really
of
good.
the costumes was so fantastically done. And so I can never bash it too hard. But yeah, especially the teeth, they're very unique to each clown, and so it's pretty fun. But to keep time, I could keep talking forever, but I went ahead and gave it a solid 8 cars on top of the world at the lookout point.
All right, cool. Daniel, how about you?
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 Sloan's Nightmares after having watched this movie previously, because I myself had the nightmares out of watching this movie, and I think that the nostalgia effect is in high place here. It's a wonderful movie for a lot of reasons, but it is also just garbage on a whole lot of levels. And the puppetry is cool. It's not effective towards a modern audience. I think that the horror is great. It is not effective on a modern audience. I still think that the overall effect that it had on our generation is worth giving it an 8 out of 10, though.
Okay. 8 out of 10. Oh, yeah. Sloan's Nightmares, you said?
Yeah, 8 out of 10 Sloan's Nightmares.
All right. Being the center of attention on that.
And Byron, this is again your pick. This is one of your favorite movies of all time. What do you rate it?
It's really hard for me to say because this movie is really different from any other movie. Of course, it's not an intelligent movie. It's full of stupidity. It's not smart at all. You're not watching this movie to learn something. You watch this movie, and before you watch this movie, you take your brain out, you put it aside, and go like, "Let's have fun now."
Right on. Yeah,
and that's what I like.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's what I like about this movie. And I have no idea why I keep watching it. You always have that friend who watch smart movies, and you try to explain to him how cool Killer Klowns from Outer Space is, and you tell them everything about the movie. There's this acid pies, gun that shoots popcorn. You got cotton candy that preserves people because clowns want to eat them, and they go like, "And you like that movie?" Yeah, well, yeah, I do. Yeah, I know it sounds a little bit weird when I say it, but yeah, I do like it, and I'm still drawn to it, and I will watch it once a month if I have to.
You have to.
So yeah, I have
if somebody
to.
puts a gun to your head, they're like, you have to watch this once a month.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse my camera. It's a DSLR, so the battery is down. So I'll keep on talking. I'll give it a 9 acid pies to 10.
All right, cool. And finally, we have Bree. You saw this, the most recent of all of us, as a full-grown adult. And so, what's your rating?
I guess it's pretty shocking that I did watch it really recently, and I guess I do qualify as the modern audience and the fact that I'm still in my 20s. But I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Just like Martin said, you do kind of like put your expectations aside. You say, I'm going to have fun with this. I know it's stupid, and I'm going to love it. Yeah, especially when you watch it with other people, just like Martin was saying, and just like we talked about in the first podcast, way more fun to watch with other people. Effects don't hold up, but it's still a lot of fun, and there's still some horror elements that I kind of referenced earlier. And for that, I am going to give it 7 strings that I could still see on the balloon dog besides post-editing.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for bringing up the balloon dog.
Yes, I had to.
That part was like
It's funny.
That.
Yeah, it's great.
It was funny. Yeah, it was goofy. It was silly, but it was like this is definitely the part where like they were like, yeah, we're doing this. This is what we're doing. All right. Well, that will conclude this episode of Cult and Trash Horror Movie Grind. Thank you all for joining. Martin, thanks for being our guest.
Thanks for having me.
I will see you soon. And thanks for the rest of y'all for coming back. And so I'd like to give a little tease of the next film that we will cover next week, which is called The Killing of Satan. Right here.
Right off the bat, that sound quality, perfect.
Yeah. How have I not seen this?
Yeah, Manos, but with a better budget and more action. Right. Is this like an Indian film? You know,
it's like that or Philippines or
okay.
I think it's Philippines or it might be Indonesian.
They go all out.
Bollywood.
But yeah,
oh my god! If this movie was Bollywood, that would be amazing. I want us dancing in the middle of this.
Yeah, this is worse than Bollywood. This guy clearly like picked a fight with Satan. That is Satan himself.
That's not a good idea.
The Lord of Lies. That is the devil himself, Lucifer.
And he don't give a fuck.
And he's pissed off at him, so he called him out. He called him a little bitch. Satan was just like, all right, nobody calls me a bitch. And so, as you can see, he clearly is a bitch. And
that's a heck of a washing.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, that dying sequence is not good. He should maybe. Okay. No, he didn't make it. I thought he was going to make it.
Wow.
Yeah, nope. So, I mean, spoiler warning. I should have said that at the beginning of the clip.
Spoiler. Yeah. That's a spoiler. Okay.
I don't see how they can write any extra. That was perfect. Like that's a whole movie on its own right there. That clip.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely the least boring part, but and that is a bizarre movie. It's called The Killing of Satan. So tune in next week for The Killing of Satan. And so yeah, again, thank you all for joining, and thank you all for watching. And real quick, Martin. Just whatever you got, everything you got going, anything, everything.
I got everything going. That's the problem. I got way too much things to do. God damn it!
If you want to see more Martin,
yeah,
what you got?
Boy, the TV show is on. Well, it's in French. I know it's in French. You'll go like, oh, the French frog. God damn it, I'm tired of this shit. But no, seriously, the TV show is going to be on in 14 days. Actually, it's going to be our premiere. So it's called Sur la route de l'horreur. And in English, it's called Highway to Hell. It's about us, our team, going everywhere we can to visit haunted attractions, conventions, stores, restaurants, everything that has to do with horror movies. And it's looking pretty good. I saw the first cut, and oh my god, I am very anxious to see how people will react. It will be shown on the Frisson TV channel in Quebec, who has 300,000 members or something. So yeah, it's going very well. And then we also have a few documentary. Ian is aware of one. Bree is also aware of this one. I don't know about Sloan and Daniel, but I think Daniel is aware of it. No, he's not. Okay, well, we got a documentary on So Bad It's Good movies coming up. Of course, we're having a little bit of trouble going forward because there's a lot of things we're working on because we have Infamous Horror At the moment, if you're looking at this show, you are probably aware of Infamous Horror, and there's a lot of shows beside Cult and Trash. You also have Top 666, the Scream Queens. You got a lot. So yeah, there's so many things on the table at the moment. I cannot name all of them because we have to start them first. We're in the discussion phase, but yeah, there's a whole lot of things coming. But I'm glad about Cult So Bad It's Good Movies, the documentary, because it's coming along. We got a few interviews on the list at the moment, and no, I'm not gonna get into this. Never mind. That's it. That's all I have to say.
All right. Okay. Cool. Well, as one of the, the host of one of the shows on Infamous Horror of this channel. Thank you for reaching out to me, giving me a chance on this, and
it's all because I love you, Ian.
I love you too, and mostly because you just you gave me the show that was bigger than my last show, but you didn't hear that. No, I mean for real though. Like, this is great. Like, thank you.